A tropical storm named Karen could impact your outdoor plans across parts of the state of Florida this weekend, and the Gulf Coast could also see landfall from this tropical storm. The very latest analysis right here. Don't forget our Twitter feed will have the latest, forecast cones of uncertainty from the National Hurricane Center. I want to break the situation down. What happened last night was interesting. We saw the center of circulation develop a little further to the north than where the hurricane hunters originally flew into Invest 97L. That formed a little further north, right about here, and the thunderstorm activity really blew up. You see those dark reds and yellows and oranges? Those thunderstorms were really firing overnight, and that is suggesting that a tropical storm is forming, and this is going to move into the Gulf. We're going to have to watch it closely. There really hasn't been a significant change to the overnight model runs, but comparing these to 24 hours ago, they have shifted just a bit to the east. At least the consensus is a little more to the east, including more of the panhandle of Florida now. I want to break this down into two possible scenarios for you. This is how I see this playing out over the coming days. Scenario number one is more in line with the European model and the Canadian model, taking this a little further to the west and slowing it down, allowing a front to interact with it, and then turning it to the east as the front picks it up and moves it toward the panhandle. It'd be a weaker system, and it would arrive a lot later. I think the more likely scenario here is scenario number two. Based on what I'm seeing and what happened overnight, this is going to be a faster system that's not going to really be interfered with by this front as it moves toward the panhandle. So it could be a little stronger. It's going to move a little closer to home, and it could happen a bit sooner, maybe Saturday as opposed to Sunday or Monday. Now, I want to remind you, though, we're not talking about a major system. When you look at the forecast intensities on a graph, I know this is hard to see, so I drew some lines on. There's tropical storm force winds, there's hurricane force winds, and there's the timeline. We're talking about mainly a tropical storm here in terms of its strength. Of course, this is subject to change, but right now I don't see this being anything more than a moderately strong tropical storm when it comes ashore. Now, the National Weather Service was projecting the heaviest rain Wednesday for the 7-day totals to be from New Orleans to Pensacola. Of course, this is subject to change based on the storm track. I think that heavier rain is going to be more aligned right there from Pensacola over to the Big Bend of Florida. So we're going to have to watch and see how this changes over the coming days. Bottom line, just stay aware for future updates as we continue to track Tropical Storm Karen.